My name's Steve Root. This is Root's Kitchens, Bedrooms, Bathrooms. A common question we get asked, will turmeric or turmeric stain my expensive quartz worktops? Well, the short answer is probably not. The long answer is it depends on the manufacturer. And finally, if you like answers at the beginning of YouTube videos, please give this a like and subscribe. It really does help my small business. Now I'm going to experiment by staining these Caesarstone quartz worktops with turmeric. The manufacturer says I can remove them, so we will see. I'm also going to talk through what a stain is and why no worktop is indestructible. There are two types of stain that can affect our worktop. The first is where there's a chemical change and a chemical reaction between the two materials. For example, if I was to take a flame and burn this worktop, the worktop itself is permanently changed by the heat. You can't undo those stains. The second type of stain is where something is left on the surface. For example, if I was to take a piece of chalk and mark the quartz, you instinctively know you can wash the chalk out. Fortunately, turmeric is one of the second ones. There shouldn't be a chemical reaction between the turmeric and the quartz worktop. I did some research into why turmeric stains more readily than other materials, and there are three reasons. The first is its colour. It stands out even in small quantities, especially against light colour work surfaces. If I had the equivalent of, say, salt, I'm less likely to notice it because it's not as bright a colour. The second reason is its particles are very small. Now, a surface, when you look very closely, has lots of fine texture to it. You can often feel it on your own work surface. Turmeric's small particles are more likely to get caught between those little ridges than a lot of other materials, like salt, for example, which has much bigger crystals. The third reason that it's harder to clean is that it's naturally oily. So if you just use water, the water is repelled by the turmeric itself and doesn't actually get lifted off. The general advice you find on the internet for cleaning turmeric is to first start with a soapy water solution rather than water alone, and then move on to a mixture of white vinegar and bicarbonate of soda left for a while on the stain to give that time to work and lift the particles of turmeric off the worktop. Caesarstone have a different recommendation, and I'm going to caution you now, this might not apply to your worktops, so check with your manufacturer, because Caesarstone recommend the pink stuff or SIF for cleaning stubborn stains. The thing to remember is that this is an abrasive cleaner and no worktop is indestructible. In exactly the same way as sand in the wind will erode a mountain, the particles in this will gradually wear through and mark the surface of your quartz material. Now, it's quartz all the way through, so that's not actually a problem, but it will change the surface texture and the look and the sheen of your worktop. Now, Caesarstone know that you'd have to do an awful lot of cleaning with this before it damages their worktop, but other manufacturers may have different mixtures of resins and quartzes where it would leave marks from the cleaning a lot sooner than you'd expect. So check with your manufacturer. But if it's Caesarstone, yes, you can use the pink stuff. I have it in writing. So I'm making a paste. I have 6 colours, 2 samples of each, and I'm going to put the turmeric on each one and leave it there to rest for a little while. And as a bonus experiment, I have 2 discontinued laminate worktop samples here, so I've put turmeric on those as well to see if they're any easier or harder to clean than the quartz. Wipe off the obvious residue, and then hopefully I'll have a stain left. And there we are, Caesarstone quartz worktops, cleaned of turmeric with the pink stuff, and on every single sample you couldn't tell the turmeric was ever there. And I wouldn't recommend the pink stuff on laminate worktops frequently because it's a plastic surface, because the abrasiveness will gradually wear the surface. But for this one-off occasion of cleaning the turmeric off, you cannot tell where the turmeric was. It's taken it all off completely. So will turmeric stain a quartz worktop? If it's Caesarstone quartz, no, it can be cleaned with the pink stuff. If you found this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe. It really does help my small business. If you're looking for a kitchen, bedroom or bathroom done well and you live in East Kent, the southeast corner of the UK, please come visit my showroom. I would love to give you the full tour. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I do answer them all myself. My name is Steve Root. This is Root's Kitchens, Bedrooms, Bathrooms.